What's up, guys? Tristian Clunis here, and welcome to another great episode. And I have another great guest. I'm so happy that he's here. And he was very open to coming out today and sharing about what they do and what he's a part of. He is the owner of Kubbie Construction, which is a great construction company. He's been doing it for years. We're going to go into all of his details and his history in a moment. And he's also, which is why I really wanted to bring him on as well, the vice president of Afro Canadian Contractors Association, none other than Sephton Spence.
Yeah.
How are you, sir?
Hey, dude, I'm good.
I'm a little casual today. This is how I actually prefer to be, not with the jacket, because I saw you come. I'm like, you know what? This is going to be perfect. We're going to have a nice casual conversation.
Yeah, I'm
today.
rolling right off site.
It looks like you're just like, he still has, guys, if you can see, he still has the dirt on his pants. That's how, like, he's literally right off the site.
The boots are in the truck.
Yeah, that's fair. So I'm happy that you came.
Thank you very much for having me.
I really wanted to bring you on because I heard about the Afro Canadian Contractors Association.
Right.
I was speaking to your daughter-in-law, funny enough.
Yes.
And she mentioned, my father-in-law, he's the vice president and of this great association that you started. So I want to get into that. I also want to get into your history and how you got started in this. And yeah, let's just flow, if that's okay with you. Remember, please, everybody, if you're watching, like, subscribe. If you have any comments, comment below. If you have any other suggestions or subjects that you want to get into that you want me to talk about, please let me know in the comments below as well. Anyways, let's get to it, man. So give me rundown about yourself, please.
Rundown. Contract
history,
work.
Yeah.
I have, my mentor's name is Randolph Townsend.
Okay.
You know when you were young and you go to Sunday school?
Yes.
You reach over one day and boom on my leg.
Yep.
Boy.
Yep.
Come with me. He didn't have any daughters. Or he didn't have any sons. Sorry, he didn't have any sons.
Right.
So all of a sudden I was the victim.
Got you.
Right? But I was a good victim.
Fair enough.
And he studied at George Brown and he studied architecture. Mm-hmm. So he worked for a design company during the day, but he had a company on the side, which we eventually got R&K Construction. Right? So I was 12 years old.
Wow.
Yeah.
Jeez.
And all he did was maybe push a broom.
That was your only job?
That was my job.
Got you. Fair
6
enough.
months. 6 months straight. All I did was.
Wow.
And anytime I picked up a tool, put it down. Pick it up, put it down.
Right.
Pass me this. So I learned all the tools very simply, how to handle them, how to do this. He would teach me that, but he wouldn't let me do anything.
Right.
He says, one day you will be able to work in the Prime Minister's office or a Prime Minister's home. And you'll be there because why? Because you have the cleanest sites ever. When we were redoing Sir William Mackenzie's home 5 years ago, it came right back to me.
Wow.
So this is how time and the training that the time that he took to instill that. Remember, I was still very young.
Right.
But after that, one day he passed on a little drafting board. And I was going into high school.
Right.
So I took the mechanical and architectural at that point.
Okay.
I eventually went into architectural,
yes.
right? Because I'm an architect by trade.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
That's awesome to know. Fair enough.
But I can't stay indoors. So I got to get out.
You can't be locked in the office.
No, can't be locked in the office.
Enough.
I went back and I did my landscaping at Ryerson.
Okay.
So I also
went to Ryerson too?
I went to Ryerson. What? Adamada? Yeah.
Yes, love it.
Yeah.
Love it.
So,
the business there, but yes.
Yeah. So I was able to do landscaping and the architectural. So then I realized that why I wanted to do it because then I could have the full scope, inside and out.
Right.
How the construction flows, how things go. And then I worked with different organizations building churches. We use the word developing countries.
Wow, fair enough. Yes.
Right, developing countries, in developing countries.
Gotcha.
So I went and I did that, came back, and then
How long did you do that for?
Oh, good Lord. It was, throughout when you're finishing university, when you are away, it's maybe about two or three seasons.
Fair enough.
Summer stuff.
Yeah. Fair enough.
Within that summertime when people would go to school. And then I did it, I'd build churches in Jamaica, build churches in States, different stuff like that. And then when Bob Ray's government was in full swing,
right,
I started doing daycares.
Interesting.
And I started doing daycares for Tropicana, all drop-in centers for all the malls.
Wow.
So then the business has started to grow. Now, you know what happens when government officials get kicked out of, when they lose and they're out, you also lose and you're out.
Right.
So understand that fact. As much as you think you're going to be the contractor
Forever.
it
doesn't work that way.
It doesn't work that
Right.
way. So
every 4 years or so, or however many years.
I had to get a job.
I see.
Yeah.
Right. You're forced to.
I had to get a job. So I got a job within the post office, but the business aspect was still within me.
Right.
So my first company's name was Kubbie.
Kubbie. Fair enough.
Why?
Tell me why.
We were building daycares.
The daycares, yes, the Tropicanas and the drop-in centers. Yes,
yes. And all the drop-in centers.
Yeah.
So we were building daycares all across Toronto.
Right.
Right?
Wow.
Of course, mass producing Cubbies and stuff like that. So I
Right.
called it Kubbie. But then
I was wondering how you came up with the name. I'm like, Kubbie. I'm like, that's not his last name.
Who says Kubbie?
I like
so
this.
that's everywhere I go in Toronto. They either call me Spence because they don't want to say Sephton,
Right.
or they call me Kubbie. Everyone
Got
says
you.
Kubbie.
Fair
You're just
enough.
known as Kubbie.
Fair enough.
So then what happened was, as things developed over the years, kids came on the scene. You know,
Yeah.
I made a change. And I made a change at one of the most serious times.
Right.
My twins are born.
Twins. Fair
Twins.
enough, yes.
I stayed home
Right.
with the kids.
The whole time.
Well, after 2 months, I stayed home with the kids for almost a year. And then what happened was, boom, I decided at that point, I'm not going back.
That was it.
Done.
Wow.
Because a lot of times while I was doing stuff with the post office, I was already doing stuff with the business. And then they started asking me throughout daycare, can you build an addition? Can you build a home?
Right.
Can you do this?
Right.
Can you do a basement? I mean, started off one-man crew.
So very
dining.
organic. Yeah.
So things developed. It's been 34 years. We haven't closed doors once.
Wow. That's awesome.
We have not put a flyer out for work or advertised for work in the last 10 to 15 years. We have been steady. We've been
Just
steady.
busy.
Normally for us, if you want us to come and take a look, you wait 6 months.
Wow.
Yeah, because
So you have to. So you're pretty much at a stage where you're pretty much putting it out there. So if you get the lead, you might have to even outsource. Say,
no,
hey,
we
you don't do that.
I don't normally outsource because I don't know the quality of work other people
That's
do.
always a
That's
concern.
the thing,
So
because that's
same
my
thing for
name.
my business, right?
That's
Yeah.
my name. And if I go and give somebody a recommendation, then they do a bad job.
It's coming back on you.
You know what? Blah, blah, blah,
Yeah.
blah. I already had it done. So
Right.
I tend to not. I just say, listen, call these other people. And
Right.
I don't give. They asked me for a recommendation. I said, no, I can't give you a because I don't know all their policies.
Right.
With us, over the years, we've developed policies, and especially when you get into like the structure of the job, how the job flows, how everything happens,
Right.
and when you go into the what we call the safety issues, and how everybody has to follow them.
Right.
You see, those protocols are really important to the construction industry because when somebody gets hurt, then you're one guy down, then another guy down.
Right.
But if you practice good construction safety issues,
Right.
then you have no guys off work.
You're just
Nobody's been hurt.
constantly- Right.
I mean, it's been like 10 years since we've had somebody got injured on a job.
That's not a lot of contractors
Right.
can say that. Not a lot of
mean,
companies can say
Right.
that. Yeah.
I've
That's
been injured
amazing.
on a job.
Right.
Trust me, I've been injured on a job
Right.
before. And it's just that I could not move quick enough for what somebody else done.
Right.
Right.
I understand.
But so I personally, if I'd done something to injure, no.
Right.
But we've been growing like that over the years. So over the years, I have instructed. I've gone out. I've done work in Jamaica. I've done work in St. Vincent. I've done work in, oh my God, so many different islands.
What are you doing now? Because
Haiti.
when we were off camera, just kind of like we were chit chatting, and he was like, "Oh, you don't really know what I do you?" I'm like, "Oh, you're a contractor." He's like, "You don't really know what I do." And I'm like, "Tell me." And I'm like, "Wait, no, save it for the camera. So tell me what you're doing. What are you guys working on right now?"
Right now, we're getting finalized. We just got the approval to start our development in St. Lucia called Freeman Estate.
That's awesome.
Right, we're right on the ocean. We have
Nice.
about 4 miles of beach.
Wow.
Oh, I know.
Miles.
Miles.
Wow.
Dude.
How many phases is that going to be, roughly? If you had to like...
You can't count because each phase is roughly about 8 acres.
Right.
Out of 124 units.
Wow.
We start off with our townhomes, we call the flats.
Right.
They're about 800,000.
Wow.
I know, 800,000. But when you see them, it's a different level. And I designed those things. I drew those things in about 3 weeks.
So you're doing all.
I do all the architectural. I do the design. I do everything like that. I also have an interior design license too. So
right.
You know, every time I get a chance to upgrade, I will do it because the more you know about what you do, you understand how much furniture, what size, your rooms, everything is applied.
So whether or not you're even doing the work, at least you can delegate. You can delegate way better once you know all the different jobs and all the exactly.
Right. So
makes sense.
Our interiors is being done by RH, which you know.
Yes. Yes.
And the funny thing is that when we do the interiors for our development, you can't buy a couch. You can't buy a lamp. You can't buy a bedroom set. You either buy the whole thing or you don't buy nothing at all.
Interesting.
There is no level of, do we have a upgrade? No.
Right.
The one grade is the top.
This is it. So you only go to the top of the line. You only sell the top of the line.
We only sell the top of the line.
Because when you go to some model homes, they will show you the top of the line, but what they're giving you that's included is just like your basics. You know that. You have to pay crazy amounts to get there.
Then the difference starts. Then you're just like, oh, but I wanted that house.
Right.
Yeah, well, you can't have this one.
Right.
You got to pay $100,000 more just to bring it up to that fee.
Exactly.
For us, no. Because I've been in the building industry and I know how it works, we give you one level. And you might get to choose 2 different types of materials or layouts for colors for the interior.
Right.
But the level is always just the best.
Top of the line.
And nothing else but the best.
I think people appreciate that.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
100%.
Absolutely.
Even though it might be even cost you a little bit more, but at least you know that you're getting the top of the line product.
So then we have our homes, just our regular homes, and they're about 2,400 square feet, and those run at about $1 million.
Wow. In St. Lucia.
Yeah, in St. Lucia.
This is U.S. or Canadian?
This is U.S.
Of course. It's a silly question. Silly question to ask.
Yeah, and then our condominiums.
How much are they going for?
Those are $1 million.
Are you serious? What's the size of them?
1,400 square feet.
Oh, they're big. So they're pretty, and they have the ocean front.
Wait. No.
1,400 is pretty decent size.
You're missing the point.
Let's hear it.
Swimming pool on the balcony.
On each unit?
Each unit has its own swimming pool. Swimming pool.
Wow.
23 feet long.
Are you serious?
12 feet wide.
Yeah, I'm going to have to, so my wife is watching, we're going to have to figure out how we're going to be able to get involved.
Right.
To have,
Infinity front.
Wow.
All glass looking out onto the ocean.
Oh my God.
Are we selling it yet?
I'm sold. I don't know about when do you think that's going to be ready to go?
What's your time frame like? What happened was COVID really gave us a real kick in the backside.
Sorry, I want you to touch on that even just overall. So COVID being in your line of work, because obviously that was a huge supply chains issues in the whole nine. Has that affected the industry as a whole?
The industry as a whole, I think what it did, it picked up.
Okay, fair enough.
It actually shot a booster in the arm for contractors that are good.
That are good.
That are good. There's a lot of contractors that either they specialize or they sit a lot underneath the table. There was times where they just got steady every now and then.
Right.
But those contractors that have clients, remember, wifey staying home, husband staying home. We know the divorce rate went up almost 25% more than what it is already. Wow. So guess what? You better fix the home.
Yes.
Or guess what?
Yeah.
Your backside
100%.
Because half the time they didn't know each other.
Yes.
Right? And because all of a sudden they're forced to stay with each other for how long?
Yes.
2 years?
Yeah.
In the same spot?
Yep.
Remember, we see each other going out and coming in. I'm not married, so I don't have that issue.
Yeah. I hear you. But you're right. It was in passing most of the time. Right? But then now
then they would spend the weekends and we're good on the weekends. But now
Monday to Friday,
every day.
every
now and then, 2-3 weeks. Oh, that's fine. But every day?
Every day.
Every day?
Yep. Yeah. You're saying that your business went
Hey,
up.
the business went out the roof.
They want to get these things done. But did you have any issues regarding like getting supplies and anything like that, or even labor?
The getting supplies became sporadic because the supply chains had, then they didn't.
Right.
Then they had, then they didn't. When they had, the price jumped up. A 2x4 at one point used to cost $2.45.
Wow.
And then it went to $12.
$12 from $2.40. You said 49 cents.
45
cents, and it went up to $12.
$12.
Wow.
Because it was $11.97 or 79 cents. You might as well call it $12 right there. And that you're getting from the cheapest spot.
Right. Yeah. that's at the cheap. That's at the discount
spot.
rate.
That's a discount rate. So it jumped quite a bit. Right. So now the client is responsible for that.
So how are those conversations like? How are you able to even explain to the clients like?
You don't have to because they know.
They know.
They're buying gas. They're still buying gas.
Right. And gas prices are what they are. Right. I understand.
It cost me $250 to fill up my tank yesterday.
Right. Yeah.
And that's twice a week.
Well, yeah, one of those big pickup trucks, of course.
So but the thing is, I might as well have bought a house because I'm paying more on a house than I'm paying, cheaper on a house than I do for gas.
Has it got like over? So obviously we're in a pandemic.
I'm spending $2,000 a month
on gas.
That's
a mortgage.
That's a mortgage.
Yeah, legit mortgage. Yeah,
absolutely. At least now I know I can have another house.
Yes, exactly. Imagine that. So has it gotten better? Like since obviously we're in 2022, June. Is it better, like for the supplies and all that kind of stuff, or is it kind of the same?
No, it's still sporadic.
Got you.
Anything that's coming from the east, there are times where they disappear. Like, say, plumbing.
Right.
Plumbing parts, ABS, shut out.
Wow.
They're all across every single store.
Wow.
Lowe's, Rona.
They just don't have it.
Home Depot, nothing.
Right.
And when they see nothing, I mean, no
like
store has any.
Shelves are
empty. Beer. Wow. Nothing's in them.
Right.
So, and then it goes for weeks. So then what happens is that your job now gets held up.
Right.
You can't do anything. Right. And that's just that's not in just the residential sector because my company does residential, commercial, and industrial.
Right.
So we build residential, we do residential homes. We start at a certain level and we work up. Right.
We do a certain amount that you're on right now.
Right. Our bigger homes at Freeman Estates, those are at 3,400 square feet, and those are 3.4 to 3.9 million. Easily.
Wow.
But your house is different because your house is built inside the face of the rock.
What?
Built inside the face of the rock. You park on top of the house to come down.
I need to see. So we need to have
check out the website.
Visuals. Yeah, apparently. So we got to figure out the whole visual because I'm curious to know what these actually look like. That sounds crazy to me.
It is.
Inside the rock.
Inside the rock. The back face, so your kitchen, your bedrooms.
Are actually inside the
inside the rock. So the whole backdrop is the rock.
That's so cool.
I know. It's dope.
And then obviously on the other side you have
ocean.
The ocean. Just nothing but glass.
Nothing but glass.
Yeah.
You're able to see out there. You could inside, outside living.
Wow.
Right.
So tell me something.
Fire pits, everything.
I want to know, how did you get? So you've been a contractor. You said you've been doing this for 34 plus years.
Yeah.
How did you get to the point where, like, you know what, we need to start an association?
It wasn't me.
Okay, so even just tell me about. Let's get right into it. Talk to me about it. It was
actually one of our major contractors, or when we say developers here.
And what happened?
He was in Ottawa telling the federal government that there is no black builders.
Interesting. And why is that?
Because what has happened over the years is that within the black community, within any community in Canada, the federal government supports their initiatives, whether it's a community center, whether it's a development, or whatever it is. And what they do, they give out funding for them to, say, a community center in the Polish, in the Jewish neighborhood, whatever. And what happens is that in that neighborhood, then they turn around and to keep the money within the community, they would hire their own workers that has a skill, has a trade to do that. A lot of times when the money comes down from the federal government into the black neighborhoods, it's not the black contractors that
That are
take
getting
it
the
up.
jobs.
They're never really the ones getting the jobs. They might be hired by the white contractor to do something within their neighborhood to make them feel like,
Like the presence is there,
right,
but it's not
but
really.
it's not, because
right.
it's them controlling the funds, them controlling the things. And so somebody said, there's no black developers, there's no black contractors, there's no GCs, so the match was lit.
Right.
All of a sudden, what do you mean there isn't? Right? So that's where it started.
How long ago was that?
And that's what, 2 years?
Right.
2 years.
Okay, fair enough.
And then the nooses started also.
Right,
And
right.
now the black contractors, whether from residential with non-union, or you go to a union, they had to figure out how to pull back. They had to figure out how to speak without being fired, or say something without harming or hurting somebody else, right? Or in their own fears, they were stuck, not knowing what to do, how to do, where to go, and who to talk to.
Interesting.
So all of a sudden, then TBCN, different ones got together and said, listen, boom, boom, boom. We had a couple of union partners there from different locals, and they said, we need to form a black organization.
Right.
We need to, somebody needs to stand up for the black. So we sat there. I was invited to the table. Then we kind of fell off for a minute. A week or two went by, stuff like that. Then Omari Francis got a few guys together and said, hey, you guys, I would like to, let's do something.
Right, right.
And then I think Kamoye came up with the name of ACCA.
Nice.
Right. And then we just started talking through the pandemic. Last year was our first year. We just finished our first gala, our first ever gala for black contractors in construction ever in Canada. Bonus, absolutely.
And you need to tell them how many people showed up and how
300.
And how many people were on a wait list.
How many people? No, how many people turned away?
Turned away.
We
Yes.
turned away about 146 of them.
So it's clear that it's needed and everybody wants this.
Everybody wants it.
Right.
And it was an evening. What we celebrate was of excellence.
Right.
Black contractors of excellence. What we did was, before the contractor actually does the work, there's somebody behind that does the work behind. It's called an architect.
Right.
So what we did, we reached out to different black architects from the past, from the present, and from those that are coming up. Coming up. So we call them the future.
Right.
Because we here have been instrumentally building in Canada, sweat and tears, some blood, to help this beautiful nation flourish, to grow, to develop. So what I wanted to do was draw that correlation and show them how it works. So in the hallways, we displayed all the architectural work.
That's awesome. Wow.
So as you walk down, and we hit the Hyatt. The Hyatt was right at 410 and 401.
Yeah.
Brand new.
Yeah.
Stunning.
Yeah.
So the backdrop was
it's perfect.
It was perfect.
Yeah.
And then, the thing is that we shut down our ticket sales like 2.5 days before
the event.
Right. So, but the thing is that 2 weeks prior, we were worried if we weren't going to have enough people.
Of course, yeah. Everybody, whenever you put on an event like that, and especially an event like at that caliber, the worry is, are people going to show up?
And that's 2 weeks before. We had 47.
Wow.
47 tickets sold. But then our industry partners, they were all already coming.
Right.
And they bought and then different people started buying tables. And then the places started filling up. And we're just like, hold on a second. And then we had to say, we're at 280, shut it down.
Yeah.
Shut it down now. Because we don't have there's no more room inside the space for them.
Right.
Now, the people that were working along, whether they were filming, they're doing tickets, whatever they were doing, there was no seat for them. So I don't know how they ate that night. You saw our industry partners like Turner,
nice,
Ellis Don,
right,
Govan Brown,
yep,
right, BGIS,
nice,
different partners that came out, and they were full of TBCN. Everybody excited. Right. And that night we handed out the first award ever to a black contractor.
Wow.
For his work of excellence.
Wow.
and it was an electrician.
Oh, interesting. And how'd you guys vote them? Like
It wasn't us. We sent
put it out there?
We send it out. We asked everybody to donate or send in a name, represent somebody, call it in. Say this is, and then we figure out how the person is, what they're doing for the community, how is it that they're working, how did the processes happen with them, show a couple of pictures of their work and stuff like that. Then we sent it away to industry partners and say, here, choose.
And they chose it.
And they chose that
awesome.
person.
And he came in and
That's
amazing.
Got his prize.
First one.
Yeah, but he came in late.
Oh gosh.
You know our people.
We're still working on that. We're still working on that.
We're working on.
Yeah, we're working on that. It's
So,
a whole fashionably late thing that we're trying to figure out.
No. There's one thing I say. I'm never late for an appointment.
Yeah, you're here right on time. You're here ready to go.
I'll be 5 or 10 minutes early and sitting and waiting outside.
I have the
then
same,
come inside. Cannot do that.
It's awesome.
You know, that's something about me I've never been able to control.
We have this whole thing in our culture, or I guess our community, where the whole fashion, just a few minutes is okay. But the people don't realize that when you do that, it's almost like you're not valuing the other person's time.
Absolutely.
Right? Like that person is waiting there, that person is there for you. So I mean, it's disrespect to come there late, right? So,
not only that, because I work in that industry where that client is taking care of my family.
Right.
That client is taking care of my business.
Right.
That client is everything to us. So we treat them in the same manner.
Right.
And treat them in the same manner. Do I bow? No.
Right.
But I respect. I show my respect in all manners.
Of course.
Their home, their businesses is kept top notch.
Right.
Because this is theirs.
Right.
This is theirs until I give it back. When I give it back, then it's theirs.
Then you can do what you want.
First it's mine.
Fair enough.
Everything is going to be run tip shop on time.
That's awesome.
And delivering a service on time is a key factor. It's especially in this time and in this era, it is a very tricky thing to do.
100%.
Right. So you overshoot your time and say, okay, it's going to take you 4 weeks. Okay, maybe I say 5. Okay, we'll say 5.
Well, that's a great segue. I find that, and not just in our community, but overall with contractors, getting them to come in, they'll tell you, it's only going to be 2 weeks. 4 weeks and we'll get it done, no problem. Yeah. And it ends up being a job that's like 3-4 months. 3-4 months. And I have so many clients that have this story where they're like, the contractor told me we were going to be done in 4 to 5 weeks to get the job. Once they do, it's almost like they do it to get the job. They get the job,
of course.
And then once they get the job, it's like you don't see them. 3 months pass by, or they're doing this kind of like shoddy work, and you're just like.
So, by you saying that, let me tell you about ACCA. Everything that they have said about Black contractors throughout across the nation, because we're not just in Toronto.
You guys are in Canada.
We're
nationwide.
We're nationwide.
Right.
And what we do at ACCA is that through webinars, through different presentations, training, seminars, whatever, we teach and we escalate Black contractors.
Nice.
So if you come in just raw,
right,
we teach you how to be a contractor in whatever field it is that you want to be in. We could help you placements, apprenticeship. We could work with that.
These are the benefits of being a member?
These are benefits of being a member of ACCA.
Okay.
So you get one-on-one training, you get time alone, you get time going on sites, all these different things. Now, what happens now if you're just a contractor? We work you to the place and we educate you that you have your own business. So then we introduce you to a lawyer, we get you an accountant,
nice.
We get you registered, we get you WSIB, we get you all the things you need to do to be on your way.
WSIB is a big one. I find that there's a lot of people that don't have it that should have WSIB.
It's necessary.
100%.
It's necessary. As a business owner, it doesn't help you because you never covered.
Right.
So you have to go get your own insurance.
Right.
But through that now, after we do that, now you become a GC. If you're a GC, we give you enough tools and we educate you enough that you become an owner.
Nice.
From an owner, we're pushing you from there to become a developer.
Nice.
So what we're doing in ACCA, we're propelling you from each stage, from one to the next, and giving you all the tools necessary for you to grow. Because the thing is that we're putting out so much, and there's so much work coming in. Right now, we have probably about 200% more work than we have Black contractors to do the work.
Interesting. Yeah, okay, fair enough.
Our industry partners have allowed us and empowered us and given us opportunities now for us to shine.
So the work is there.
The work is there.
Right.
But we don't have enough contractors coming in
Right.
to be a part. The dilemma is there's a fear. Those, if you're underneath the table, when we come out, what happens?
You got to claim everything.
Everything changes now.
It's a
Everything
completely,
changes.
you're treating it like a business now.
Where have you been all this time?
Yes.
Where have you been all this time? But the interesting thing is that the Canadian government is doing studies, and they're asking for studies to do
Right.
to find all the black contractors within the country.
Interesting. Fair enough.
Southern Ontario, Northern Ontario,
yeah.
East, West, North, South. So they're doing their studies. Don't think they don't know that you're there.
They know.
They know that you're
They
there.
know. Even though you're trying to keep on the low, they know.
They're aware. I mean, you can only make $19,000 for
so long.
right?
Without ever passing 20? Yeah. Like, come on.
And then if that's the case, you cannot buy a home from this gentleman.
Yes.
Because your name cannot go on the paperwork.
This is big. So this is for contractors, trades, because I want you to talk. I also want to mention, are you guys, is it just for contractors or is it for like, if you're a plumber, if you're an electrician?
Everything.
So all different trades be a part of this membership.
Everybody.
And they all benefit from it.
Everybody benefits.
That's awesome.
So the thing is that we have different tiers. We have a platinum, we have a gold, and then we have an associate model. So now we have a few GCs that's at the top. They pay $1,000. And then the gold is $500.
This is annually or this
annually?
Is per month? Okay, annually.
That's annually.
So you just pay that once
a year.
Okay, cool.
So what happens though? Even if you don't have it to say I don't have the $500, what we do is that start off with $100.
Right. And
you get a job and just pay into it. Then you move to the next tier.
Makes sense.
Right. But you see the thing, as the tiers go, you also get the jobs because it's offered first top.
And then works the way down.
If they don't need a GC at the top to run something, full job, then it goes automatically to the gold tier.
So the plan is, the idea is to make sure you want to get to the top, ideally, right?
Well, that's the top. But even if you're at the gold tier, you get so much, how could you say, presence. Your presence is extremely large.
I understand.
But what we also do is that when we don't have anybody to fulfill those areas, we have a list of another 100, almost 200 companies, black companies below that we call them and give them the job.
Nice.
Right? Hoping that they would then join on, understand. So we see all the major jobs now, just like all the big companies.
Yeah.
We have all the presence, and we see the tenders, we see the RFQs, we see everything.
Right.
Just like everybody else. So we have no reason now to say we're being overlooked. You still might get overlooked. I mean, I never went through that because I work for Pacific people.
Right.
My clientele is a little different.
Right.
Right. And if they call, they want you.
But now everybody's in that situation, in that fortunate situation. Right. Exactly.
Right.
So, I mean, there's a lot of people that are out there that are thinking, even just as you said, like there's the future, the youth that are coming up.
Yeah.
These are the trades, contractors, there's work out there. And there's associations like ACCA that are going to be able to provide you with, the tools, the benefits, the training, and also even the work, as you're saying.
Even the work.
Which is amazing in order for you to excel. One of the things that I just want to kind of circle back because you mentioned you can't get a home if you can't claim your income. So all the people that are doing the stuff under the table, you're not claiming these things, you're going to need somebody in order to buy a house. Why not put yourself in a position where you build an actual business, where you're able to claim it, you claim all the things, I mean, of course you have write-offs if it's a business. You do have write-offs. So you're not, I mean, you have things expenses and things that you can write off, but you're able to now take your paperwork and go to a bank and say, hey, this is my business, and be able to apply for a mortgage.
Like CIBC is one of our partners now, and so they have provided different now grants, different loans to contractors and to help them to establish themselves.
Right.
So with that now, we know that you're a contractor. We know you have write-offs. We know you have all these things. But now you can still also put your name on the mortgage. Because you see, the thing is, when somebody asks you to leave or you have to leave and you don't have your name on the mortgage,
bye.
The
police will come and get you.
Take you out. And they'll say, you got to go.
Yeah. And there's a lot of people in that position.
There is no man me work hard.
Yeah, sure.
That can't happen. Trust me.
Put yourself in a position.
It happens on a daily basis.
Yep.
It really does.
It does.
And then, you know, what we're trying to do is that we're trying to help all the contractors grow themselves, not just on that side, but also on a personal side.
Right, which is important.
You know, which is very important.
Of course.
Right?
Yeah.
Them growing their businesses, they grow themselves.
Right.
Right? Becoming better human beings throughout, understanding the roles that they actually play in life, understand that they've been given the talent and the right to do something, become industry leaders.
Right.
Just like the others.
That's awesome.
And to have a pride about it. That's what ACCA does.
It gives you the pride?
It gives you the pride for what you're doing.
Which we lack, unfortunately, in our community.
Right? It's something, it's not just, remember, it was something that was worked on very hard to get us there in the first place.
Right.
But so we have to work very hard to get ourselves back out of it.
I understand.
Right? So it's something that has been over so many years, been layered and layered and layered. So we here at ACCA, with our industry partners, are chipping away.
Nice.
Chipping away. And so that they could then rise and do the work. Because let me tell you, there's so many excellent black workers out there. Absolutely crazy.
Right.
Black construction workers from every single area. Right? From HVAC all the way up.
Nice.
They are so talented, but they just need exposure. They just need opportunity.
I understand.
Right? There are companies. There's still some big companies out there doing some good things.
Right.
But the thing is that there's not enough of us. The thing was, they never knew about any generals, GCs. Even people that's a part of the director says, "You're the first GC we knew." I said, "What do you mean?"
Right.
I said, "You're black. You've been in the construction." No, but truly, you're the first GC that we know that has this. Not just you don't contract people. You have workers working for you.
Right.
Right. So that's awesome. What that is. It's a shame. It is. It's nice to know. But it's a shame because there are so many out there that is doing excellent work.
Right. But you guys are doing exactly what you like. I mean, you guys are doing your part to bring that to the forefront, which is, I mean, what we need. And that's the reason why I really wanted you to be here. So let me ask you something. What's the step? How could somebody, if I'm a contractor, I'm ready to go, I want to get started in this, I want to be a part of the association, what do I do? What's the first step?
Just go on the website, ACCACAN.com.
Awesome.
ACCACAN.com.
And it walks them through the process?
Walks them through the process.
Perfect.
Right there. And then Sorrels, we have so much webinar stuff still on there. You could just check out each area and read up on what you want to do.
Right.
Or just call the number that's on the website.
Awesome.
Somebody will be glad to have a chat with you. And what happens is that we have a lot of people that's coming in and need to feel and stuff like that. They will put you with one of the directors.
Right.
And you could have the one-on-one with them.
And what about yourself? How do we get in touch with you? I mean, if they want, how does that work? If they want to deal with you directly, I know you're a busy man, clearly.
Well, you can just call it and just
see what it is.
No, you could just call the number that's there, and what happens is that you could just ask for me directly.
Got you. I see.
And they will direct all the messages and everything like that to me.
Awesome.
I do all the media speaking for ACCA.
You did a great job here, man. They're clearly a professional at this.
Right. So I've also worked in the film industry too.
Nice.
So I've done a few.
Yes,
I've done a few
that's
things.
All, it shows. That's amazing.
But the thing that we're really working on right now, besides ACCA, we have Freeman, we have Kubbie, and then we have Empower.
What's Empower about? Tell me about Empower quickly. Let me know.
Empower is the first trade school in the Caribbean for women in trades.
Wow, interesting.
Never ever before, because we have in the Caribbean, only the men do this.
That is like
if you see a woman working it, they hold in the stick. And you're lucky if they get that.
Or the flashlight or something.
Yeah, that's about it.
Yeah.
But this is the first trade school for women in the Caribbean.
That's amazing.
But here's the most amazing part of it. It's women teaching women.
Wow.
So we're getting women from all across the Caribbean
that are contractors, that are in the trades,
to come and to teach.
So right now, where do you like Caribbean, like in Jamaica?
St. Lucia. No, we're in St. Lucia.
Tell me.
We're
St.
in
Lucia.
St. Lucia.
So you're starting with St. Lucia and then kind of working your way out from there?
Well, you see, the thing is, with the St. Lucian government, they would like us to keep it in one spot. They like it to be a hub.
They want to be exclusive.
They want to be exclusive, right? Right now, they're boasting about being #1 the honeymoon capital of the world, right?
Interesting. Okay,
everybody's flocking to. Let me tell you something. If you think about St. Lucia, think about the beauty of Jamaica and stuff like that. But 30 years ago.
Wow. Untouched almost. Yeah.
Untouched.
Yep.
The raw gem.
Yep.
Beautiful people.
Not even just untouched, and opportunity.
Opportunities. Not only that, but you have the different personalities. You have a different type of a culture.
Right.
But it's so warm.
Right.
So it would be an island like that can steal your heart.
I see.
Oh, trust me, it could steal your heart.
That's awesome. So, if I'm in, let's say I'm in Jamaica, or I'm in Trinidad, am I logging in online in order to get involved in the Empower, or how does that work?
Well, we haven't even launched that fully yet. So
am I going to have to cut this out?
No, don't cut it out.
Let this go. We're going.
This is live because they're aware of us because we got approved to start our school. We're setting up now. And so right now we are pushing out the requests for the teachers.
Nice.
Teachers. So I am going to be the owner and director, but I'm in the back.
Nice.
It's just going to be women. So what we're doing, we're shattering limitations here.
Awesome.
And to shatter that limitations is that, let's just stop and think for 1 second. The pandemic happened. 80% of the hospitality sector on all these islands are what? Women.
Right.
Women, they have children. They have families.
Yep, true.
If there's another man feeding them, they still have families.
Right.
When the countries have started opening back up, 65 to 75% of the money was spent on construction because they had to repair or fix. Where were the women?
Wow.
Still at home.
Right. Taking care of the kids.
Because how are they going to feed them?
Right.
There's such a need. Whenever you have women working within your construction company, it runs 30% more efficiency.
Interesting.
Stats.
I love
Stats right from the get-go.
That's just facts.
It's not just that you're trying to get women to give them an opportunity, but understand this. They're good at what they do. We have women working for our company, but they're good at what they do. I don't hire them because I'm looking for a 30% more efficiency rate, but they're good at what they do.
That's awesome.
We have major people like master electrician, females.
Nice.
Framers, females. Plumbers.
Not even just Caribbean. You need that here.
And
I know it's in the. No, I'm saying we need that even here.
We need that here
to empower and to promote it because it's lacking. Not even just in the Caribbean. It's lacking here in Toronto.
But you see, the thing is that
in Canada,
a lot of people look down that on tradespeople. That you know what? They're just tradespeople. But the thing is that a plumber, after a few years of doing his thing, his dollars are large.
Yeah.
So you look at the white collar workers working and things making, maybe he might be making 6 figures.
Sure.
Oh, that plumber's past that stage a long time ago.
Right.
Right. But they don't look at him as anything.
Right.
As a framer. You're part of these unions that they're working for. You've been there for years. You're making dollars. But they don't think of the construction worker. But when things happen and it shuts down, what happened? Your company shuts down.
That's what I was going to
say. The construction workers in Toronto, we've been saying for how many years now? It's going to collapse.
Right.
Last year, we're over 200,000 homes under built.
Yeah, we're still
under. So we're short.
We have I've done many videos on this. On this. We are at a massive shortage of inventory of homes in the market, and we're having. I think we were just listening. I was just listening yesterday. We have about 800,000 people coming into Toronto, by 2030, 800,000, and we're not making nearly enough homes to keep up with that demand.
And now with COVID, it's pushed out. So many of the older folks left.
Right.
They're not coming back.
Right.
So guess what? We're now having a shortage. That's why you see the federal government and the different governments have ramped up, giving training and paying people to come to get trained.
Right.
So with that now, this is the opportunity that you have. The black, male, females, jump in.
Right.
People of color, jump in. This is the opportunity because there's money to be made in this industry.
Right.
Last year, we were recorded to do $453 billion in Canada.
Wow.
Across the country.
Wow.
Okay, that does not include additions, renovations.
Yeah, all the other stuff.
This was just stuff that was already
wow.
slated to be done. So, in saying that, this is why I'm encouraging everyone. And when you hire a black contractor, when you put a black contractor thing, right now we're only 7%. That is a staggering number.
Right.
7% is what we know about, and we're not even making 1% of that 453.
Opportunities there.
Opportunities there.
Yeah.
Now is the opportunity. Now's the time to do it.
I appreciate you guys, man. I appreciate you, Mr. Spence, for coming, and Kubbie for coming and honestly bringing us the awareness that we need, because I think that that's an industry that, as you said, like there's a lot of things that you can do that you can be fired, the whole nine. Plumbers, I don't see plumbers getting fired. No matter what's going on with the industry, if my toilet needs to be fixed, if my wiring needs to be fixed, if I need to do landscaping, it doesn't make a difference.
Everybody has a need.
You need these things done, no matter what's going on in the market or what's going on with our economy. Like these things need to be done. So you guys are constantly working, constantly making money right throughout. So, and
this is where now we should be gathering and working together as a team.
Right.
With your industry 100%. And our industry, where we could, get together where we could help you as you sell your homes, as you get in your home 100%. Stage, as you doing all this. We could then here at ACCA, we could say, well, listen, we could provide you for all those services.
That'd be awesome.
And what we could do, we then work hand in hand and then be industry partners again and say, what do you need? Boom. And it's there, it's done. And as we train them to become better in their mannerism, in their professionalism, in the way they carry themselves, in the way they present themselves, then we could stand out to be industry leaders.
Amazing.
And that's what we're working at.
On that note, that was amazing. How could they get, so ACCA, like you have social media, you guys have a social media. You guys are big on social media. I started following you, I love it.
On social media.
What's the name on social media? What's the
like really?
Yeah. What's that? Is it just anyways? If you put in social media, ACCA. It should come up.
It'll come up automatically.
The Afro Canadian Contractors Association. Exactly.
Obviously, I have somebody that takes care of all my social media.
He doesn't touch it. Clearly, he's a big dog and he has somebody handling that. I'm Tristian Clunis. Please like this video if you enjoyed it. And if you have any questions, comment below, subscribe. We cutting this video up probably and putting it on social media as well. We're definitely going to be doing that because this was awesome. Learned a ton. I thank you so much, Mr. Spence, for coming.
Pleasure.
Really do appreciate that. And remember, guys, if you're clueless, ask Clunis. Have a great day.
All right.